Welcome back to Forza Horizon 6, everyone. My name is Pengu, and last time we checked out this thing, this beautiful De Tomaso Pantera, and today we're going to be checking out the brand new Car Pass car, the Aston Martin DB7 GT. Now, this thing is really, really cool, and we're going to be jumping into it, seeing what it can do bone stock, and we'll jump in, do a quick build of it, and that'll be it. But yeah, so this is a really cool looking Aston Martin. Absolutely love how long this feels, and so let's just skip right into it. Let's go ahead and jump into a race. Loading up here into our first race. Did throw on the little bit more James Bond outfit, as we are driving an Aston Martin, so I figured I'd get into character for it. We're doing a street race, just mix it up, and it's going to be river descent. It's a fun little street race that I've enjoyed running a good bit. So yeah, let's see how this car feels. I mean, definitely not the craziest acceleration, but it is a rear-wheel drive car. It is also an Aston Martin from a good couple years ago, so it's definitely not going to be the quickest thing out there. He's going to get a lot of understeer, as that corner, I was at full turn, good brake, and it still really didn't want to turn on me. That one was a little bit better, but it definitely has some issues wanting to actually get the rotation in and get through those corners. Also, noticing it's a little bit slippery. I mean, it is making, I think, 400 plus horsepower, but those rear tires are definitely not gripping up as much as you'd hope. But ultimately, I mean, this car isn't necessarily about just the drive. It is an Aston Martin. It's just a status symbol. It's just a visual masterpiece. And, I mean, you definitely can't go wrong with this thing. As we are going to shoot ourselves a little wide as I tried to look at our car. But, yeah, I mean, this is a stunning vehicle that I'm sure I'm trying to mess up a little bit as I am bouncing off the back of these cars in front of me. Let's get into the interior here. A little bit too far. It's a little dark out, so we're not going to be able to see perfectly, but you got that nice wood accent. And this is just classic Aston Martin. I mean, just a beautiful interior. Nothing too fancy in terms of like, oh, it's all gold plated or anything like that. But, you know, it's just nice class. I really enjoy this. As we're going to go sailing off a bridge. I'm going to rewind here because I'm not going to be able to recover off that bridge. I don't know if I'm going to actually be able to save this without going off the bridge again. We do. It's definitely not been some of my best driving. I'm just going to blame interior view here, because I don't ever drive an interior view. Because that's totally the issue, and definitely not my inability to actually play the game. We're going to be chilling here in 5th, as we're a little bit over halfway through this race, although we are going to get a good run here on the NSX. Fly by him, as we look to chase down these top 3. The other NSX brakes. It's going to put us onto the podium. And that run is crazy. I mean, it seems like everyone in front of us must have braked, because we are now going to be pulling up onto Bowie Knife up here in 1st. Looks like he's in a Dodge Challenger. No, he's in a... Is that an MR2? It is an MR2. I don't know how I thought that was a Dodge Challenger, but, you know, I did. Over here in the house, we are going to jump straight into the upgrades. As always, we're going to start with the conversions. We do have some engine swaps. We have a 7-liter V12, a 3-liter V6 twin turbo, and a 6.5-liter V12. Now, I don't know for sure, but that's got to be from something. I have not seen that 7-liter V12 on many cars. I mean, the 6.5 is pretty standard when it has a V12 slot in, but that's got to be from something. It might be the Valkyrie. Now that I think about it, it could be the Valkyrie. We're going to have an all-wheel drive swap here. Not going to do it. We do also have the ability to twin turbocharge and supercharge the engine. I think we are going to throw in the V12. Why not? In terms of aero, nothing crazy. Just your standard Forza aero. I'm not going to bother putting it on right now. I do want to keep this car looking pretty good. Tires. I think we're going to say screw it. Go full slicks. I'm going to thicken up the front tires a little bit. We can get all the way up to 305s in the rear from 265s. So that's not bad. I'll leave the stock rims on. Get some nice engine spacers, and those are great. Those look fantastic on this car. Knock out some drivetrain upgrades, and I think I'm going to build this thing into a little bit of an S1 class racer here. I might end up having to go put on the aero, as I think without the aero, this car might be a little bit too difficult to drive. So I will be quickly doing that after we check out the rest of the performance and handling. Got a good amount of weight reduction here, as we're going to be able to drop this car under 3,000 pounds as we pull 800 out with the weight reduction. And I mean, look at this. This thing just looks fantastic. I mean, it reminds you of the 177, but in a lower form, you know? Like, the 177 is that classic Aston Martin from back in the day, and this thing has the same vibe, but it isn't, you know, it just isn't in your face as much as the 177. It allows it to be a little bit more subtle, and that, you know, it's more of a if you know, you know car kind of thing. I mean, obviously, it's still an Aston Martin. It's still going to attract attention just inherently off that, but, you know, it's definitely not the flashiest of cars. But that's kind of what I like about this thing, is that it's not something crazy flashy. Gonna go ahead and here, instead of painting it ourselves, we're gonna go check out what the community's made for paint jobs. I kind of like these British Racing Green Aston Martins, but I'm gonna look for something else here, as I do tend to run that British Racing Green. And, you know, I like this little fighter paint job. We're gonna go ahead and toss it on. And I'll do a quick tuning, and then we'll go ahead and jump into a race and see how this thing handles. Loading up here onto the highway circuit, as I felt with it being S1, with it being in this fighter pilot, you know, kind of paint job, that it should really be able to accelerate and show off that top line speed, as we did swap in the V12. And again, I think it is the Valkyrie engine. And we're not going to have any difficulties here with the AI. They're going to be a little bit wiggly here. Not the most stable thing, but that's probably going to end up coming down to my tuning ultimately, and not the car itself. We're going to kind of use our weight and push our way through, as they kind of blocked up the road there. Coming into the first major corner. Brakes are great. We're going to lose a bit of traction coming out of the corner, but I think that's more, I just got on the gas a little bit too quickly. Although the tires are definitely not the thickest tires ever. You could definitely put some thicker rear tires on here, but ultimately, you know, there is only so much space, and you're going to be able to only deal with these for right now. But, I mean, straight line speed, no issues here whatsoever. But you'd also kind of hope so, as this is a hypercar engine in here. I am thinking I'm going to go for the shortcut here. You know, it is AI. It's not necessary to actually win this race, but it's probably just good practice to try and take the shortcut here. I'm going to brake a little bit hard there, as I'm not totally sure how much traction I can truly keep through a corner, as it doesn't seem like it's much, so we slide out a little bit there. We're going to pull away from the AI a bit here, although there is one right behind us. Sounds like it's a Supra, how much it's trying to roar back there. Because I looked back, we are going to end up hitting the wall there, and it is in fact a Supra. You know, trying to get these views for y'all. I'm definitely struggling a bit to keep the car on the road as it's supposed to be. Hopefully as time goes on I'll get better at that, or just decide not to turn the camera around as I'm coming up to a corner, because probably the smarter decision ultimately in this, as we are now going to have to chase down this Supra here. We shouldn't have too many issues doing so, although he is pretty far up there. You can hear the turbos whining on that Supra from way back here, and that is kind of insane, but we're going to be closing in on him here. He's going to brake a lot harder than us. We're both going to take the shortcut. And I just don't think I'm going to be able to get him, as I am not able to keep this car stable. That was the Aston Martin DB7 GT. Really cool car here that we were able to actually have some decent customization options with, especially with that Valkyrie engine in there. No crazy body kits or anything like that, but ultimately I think this car isn't about, you know, some crazy body kit. It's truly just a absolute class piece from Aston Martin. So that's going to do it for me today. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll catch you next time.